Welcome to your reset with Christiane Piano, where the purpose is to support you in releasing all that you are not, so the truth of who you really are can emerge. This is accomplished through working with the BodyMind from an ontological perspective. We use various modalities to support you in supporting yourself exactly where you are, so that you may return to an experience of wholeness and ease, moment by moment. Deep reflection is one of the greatest tools through which to do this. To take a moment, to pause, assess, reflect, and literally and figuratively reset, come back to center, and move back into your one and precious life with increased clarity and purpose. Hello and welcome. I'm Christiane Piano, and this week's episode explores anticipatory fear. So much feels amplified these days, doesn't it? I've been sitting with this question. How can I best support myself in navigating it all? The personal, the global. What do I need to stay connected to the light from a grounded place? How do I avoid being swept away by the storms, both within and around me? My own self-care has included long, slow walks, various body-mind practices from somatics, meditations, body-mind sessions, sensescapes. I've also sought out conversations with people who radiate light and life-giving energy, and I've been mindful of what I nourish myself with: food, reading, and generous doses of silence. It's so common now to hear people talk about what they anticipate in the world, and in their own lives. And so often, that anticipatory emotion is fear. It's understandable. Our minds naturally go first to the worst case scenario. Its job, after all, is to keep us safe. And the go-to resource? Past experience. The mind is constantly scanning for threats, activating those safety mechanisms. I've got this, we tell ourselves. Or we strategize, we plan, we try to think positive. But I'm curious. When you think of what you anticipate, where does your mind go specifically? What emotions surface before you even become fully aware of this thought stream? Wink, wink. As mindful expert Jon Kabat-Zinn so beautifully puts it, most people don't realize that the mind constantly chatters. And yet that chatter winds up being the force that drives us much of the day in terms of what we do, what we react to, and how we feel. So how do we become aware of that mental chatter, especially when facing the unknown, the future? How do we support ourselves through rocky relationships, uncertain health diagnoses, job insecurity, or global upheaval? These are skills we can develop. There are so many resources to help us meet ourselves where we are, whatever we're experiencing, so we can reset, find our balance, and begin again in this very moment. The Dalai Lama's wisdom offers such comfort. There are only 2 days in the year that nothing can be done. One is called yesterday, and the other is called tomorrow. Today is the right day to love, believe, do, and mostly live. Let's think more about anticipation. Consider its synonyms. Foretaste, outlook, prospect. They all suggest an advanced realization of something to come. But anticipation often carries that sense of advanced suffering or enjoyment. So when you bring to mind something you're anticipating, and this is key, before you start analyzing it, what first comes to mind? Suffering or enjoyment? What does that look like? What does it feel like? How does it show up in your body? Sensations, breath, posture, movements, even your pacing. How does it show up in your mind? The specific thoughts, the tone, from racing and intense to dull, detached, or avoidant? Did you know anticipation is considered an emotion? It involves pleasure or anxiety as we consider or await an expected event. Think of the range: fear, anxiety, hope, trust. And when that anticipated event doesn't happen, disappointment, of course, if it was something positive. Relief, if it was something negative. Is anticipation good or bad? I believe it's neither. It simply is. Part of being human. It all depends on us, on the situation. It can fuel positive emotions, drive us forward, but it can also lead to stress and disappointment if we're not careful. The key is finding balance, focusing on the present moment. That's what helps us navigate the potential downsides of anticipation. As always, our reflections bring us back to relationship, the inner work, the inner training. It's about witnessing our experience without judgment. And if we do judge, because we all do, it's about suspending that judgment, becoming curious. Curiosity fuels growth. Thinking we have all the answers, that we're in complete control, that can create a false sense of security. And let's be honest, do things usually go exactly as planned? Really? More often than not, they don't. That's not to say we shouldn't plan, prepare, be responsible, engage with our circumstances. Absolutely, we should. But can we also release that rigid picture in our minds of what should happen? Can we let go of that feeling in our bodies of what we should feel? No matter how we imagine the future, can we take a deep breath and simply live into each moment as it arises? I collect quotes, little reminders of practices that bring me back to the present, grounded, heart beating. Lao Tzu's words resonate so deeply. A good traveler has no fixed plans and is not intent on arriving. For me, no fixed plans means not being attached to the outcome, releasing whatever I'm anticipating, whether it's filled with joy or something else entirely. Here's a practice you might find helpful when you're facing uncertainty, that discomfort, those difficult emotions. It's called the 3-3-3 rule. You pause, you take a slow, deep breath, And look around you and name 3 objects. And then listen for 3 sounds. And finally, move 3 parts of your body. I use this myself when I'm struggling to stay present, when I feel overwhelmed. So many people find it helpful for focus, for grounding. Try it out for yourself, perhaps. Lao Tzu also reminds us, a mind that is still, the whole world surrenders. It's a truth we have to experience for ourselves, though. A still mind isn't about stopping all thoughts. It's more about your thoughts slowing down, or maybe a space opens up between one thought and the next. The water's calm. Our state of being is so connected to our state of mind, which is in turn deeply connected to our bodies. How do we reset our nervous system? The fastest way is through breathing and grounding, rooting ourselves in the present. Sense your bones, your heartbeat, and with your eyes open, gently tap with loosely held fists, a little reminder of the here and now. Ask yourself, what difficult things can I manage right now? And move forward with those, appreciating every small victory. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, as the saying goes. Whatever you're grappling with, wherever you are on this planet, can you give yourself a pause? Remember, you're simply human, having a human experience. Embrace your humanity. Be curious about yourself, your experiences. Explore what may be holding you back. Maybe it's a project, a conversation, a practice that connects you to your body, or simply taking time for quiet stillness. The important thing to remember, when you feel resistance, that's a signal. Lean in, soften, listen deeply. There's something there for you, a possibility waiting to be discovered. And when you feel lost, come back to your core values. Come back to what gives you life. Remember, if you can live into this moment, however it's presenting itself, however you're experiencing it, whether you like it or not, you will figure it out step by step. When the world feels too overwhelming, remember Viktor Frankl. Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. And remember the wisdom of the Dalai Lama. If you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. Our choices, our attitudes do matter. They ripple outwards, touching not only ourselves, but the world around us. I hope you found this episode supportive. Feel free to like, share, or follow. You are officially invited to join me and a group of vibrant individuals from around the globe for the Reflections Club. We gather together online the first Saturday of each month for 1 hour. No preparation needed. Just bring yourself and get ready to have fantastic conversations with people who are passionate about the benefits of body-mind well-being. Human connections are deeply nurtured in the field of shared story, and something magical occurs when people come together to share what resonates with them personally. These meetings will support you in taking your reflections to the next level and support yourself even more. If you have questions, feel free to reach out or simply visit my website, www.christianepiano.com.